Hey guys, it's SF and January 27th is the new series, hopefully, the Devil series. And there's going to be 3 5-star monsters in a hatcher and 2 4-star monsters, and as well as 2 Descent monsters. Let's run them down. First off, starting off with Asmodeus. He's the 4-star monster. I'm going to start with 4-star monsters just like last time. Let's skip to the evolved version. Ability is a Minesweeper gauge shot of Woodslayer. Very high attack, but very low speed. Although with the low speed, he has a strike shot with an 8-turn cooldown that speeds him up. Bump combo is a lock on Shockwave 6. He doesn't really have much use unless you're really starting off and need some savage level monsters, but he's not any good for extreme level, so not the best. Kind of a troll role in terms of 4-star in the 4-star department. Some people might get a luck 90 and then he can be somewhat useful, but outside of that, not very useful, not very good. Let's go to Leviathan, the second 4-star, the other 4-star monster. Ability is a no gravity barrier and a gauge shot of no damage wall. Low attack but very high HP and speed for a 4-star monster. Strike shot is a 2-turn delay on a 24 turn cooldown, and if you're comparing, Mundus's delay is 3-turn delay with a 30-turn cooldown. Bump combo is an EX Laser M. She's one of the better ones, especially for starters who need some okay monsters. If you just rolled like 1 5-star monsters and you need 4-star monsters to fill up the spaces on your team, then she's a very good monster and very good all-rounder. She can be useful in Astaroth, which is full of damage walls and some gravity barriers. So if you're trying to get a okay 5-star monster, she's okay. She can be somewhat useful against Astaroth, and although you need some like 5-star monsters on your team, so that's where Co-op comes in. But if you get luck 90, you can probably run Astaroth very easily if you have some good friends with some good no damage wall water monsters. Next up is the 5-star monsters. First up, Belphegor. Let's look at the evolve. No damage wall, very okay stats. Strike shot is a cross laser, and bomb combo is a one-way laser EL. Basically a wood version of Arthur and Nono. Very good for starters if you're re-rolling and stuff like that. There's not much to say about it, but if you know how strong Arthur is, then she's pretty much just as strong. Let's look at the Ascended version. Ability no warp, gauge shot of Water Slayer. Stats, I think HP went down a bit, speed went down a bit. Oops. Speed went down a bit, but attack's okay. Strike shot is a speed up and a power up. Bump combo is a homing 18, homing piercer 4 for the sub bump. This version, she is one of the attribute slayers, but right now she doesn't have that many uses. Lately she's good for Louis the 13th, which I used her in one of my videos. So you want to see her and then see her strike shot and see her in action, then you can check that out. But outside of that, not very good. A lot of water dungeons need at least gravity barrier or no damage wall. Not many warp water dungeons out there. So the Ascend version doesn't have any uses, that much use. But hopefully when JP goes during their second round of impossible dungeons, she'll be brought back up with the water version, with the new water 60 stem, if they ever release that. Yes, JP's on their second rotation of impossible dungeons, and the fire one Asha brought back Uesugi Kenshin, which is a fire slayer. So if you're wondering which one that to choose from, starters go for the evolve version. Even now, if you have a really solid box, you can go for the evolve version. If you're at down the road, you might want to switch back to Ascend version, especially if there's a 60 stat monster that she's good for. She's not really useful in Yamato Takeru, so don't hurry and ascend her. She won't have much use out. She won't have that many uses besides normal dungeon farming, or shard farming, or turtle farming. So right now go for the evolve, but maybe later you should switch to ascend. If you have like multiple Arthurs or Nonos or one-way lasers, then switch. Or you can go directly to the ascend form, but you probably won't use her that much. Next up, Beelzebub. Let's look at the evolve. Demon's Bane, gauge shot of no damage wall, high speed, low attack, but due to the gauge bonus, you'll probably go to about 20k. Strike shot is a 3-turn immune for your allies. When you hit your ally, if you ever hit your allies. Bump combo, spread shot, EL3. Let's look at the ascend, because they're kind of the same. Ability, no gravity barrier and bounce. Speed goes down a bit, but attack went up a bit. HP is about the same. Strike shot is the same. Bump combo, spread shot, EL3, and a homing 8. Now he's one of the troll ones in this hatcher. He does have his uses, but in terms of overall viability, then not really good. Because his strike shot is useful, but not that useful. In the evolved form, he is a pierce, which can be easy to hit multiple allies, but he can get caught in gravity barriers. So not that useful. Plus, his strike shot is only on allies and not himself. So even if you hit all 3 people, you can still get killed or take damage from enemies if it hits Beelzebub. And the immune is damage, debuffs like poison and stun. So yeah, in terms of ascend, I would go for the ascend just because it's a no gravity barrier and has more uses in terms of dungeons. You can if you're good enough, you can probably avoid damage walls and stuff like that. So, but he's not that useful. He's more of a filler if you need something that's, if you have like all DNTs and you're trying to go for a DNT Slayer that has a DNT Slayer boss, then he can be useful. He just takes less damage than your other monsters, but he's not that useful. Last of the hatchers is Satan. Evolve. DNT Slayer, gauge shot of no gravity barrier, piercing. Okay, average speed for a piercing monster. 350 is around average. 300 is a must, a minimum, and 400 is really good. Strike shot is a giant laser. Bump combo is a homing destruction 8. Let's look at the ascend version. DNT Slayer, Fiend Slayer, all in the same ability, so there's no gauge shot. Attack is very high, but speed goes down a lot because he's a power type. Strike shot's the same, and homing destruction 8, and volatile blast for the sub. The homing destruction 8 has a lower power than the evolve version. There's 10,981 on the evolve and 7,843 on the ascend. Of course, it's pretty much hands down that the evolve is the better one, but if you're starting out, you can kind of go for the ascend version, because ascend version is really good against Nunaikyong, that can help you get Izanami and stuff like that. But if you have an okay box, if you have like other 5-star monsters that can beat those kinds of dungeons, then go for the evolved version. Evolved version can beat can be used in Squiomi, a 60 stem, an impossible dungeon. So if you have an okay box, then go for the evolved version. Even if you don't have, but the Ascent does have its uses, but go for the evolve. Hands down the better version. But there are some uses for the Ascent, just to get your mind thinking. Now let's go for the Ascent monsters. First off is Astaroth. As y'all know, Astaroth is needed for Sanada Yukimura and Agnamut's Ascensions. Beast Slayer for the ability, and Geisha and No Warp. High attack but very low speed. Strike shots is like Harley X, AoE, or Harley X or Odin. Bump combo is an EX Laser L. Let's look at the Ascend version. Beast Slayer L. Attack is still there. It's not as high as the evolved version, but it's pretty good for 20k. And speed goes up a bit. It goes up by a lot actually, by like 60. And HP is kind of low for a 5-star monster. Strike shot's the same. Homing 18 for the bump combo and homing piercing 4 for the sub. Her use, not that many beast dungeons. I can't really recall any of them. There are some Savage Star beasts class, but people do max Lucker for the art, so you might want to max Lucker, but usefulness outside of her being a fire and very high attack with the AoE, like not very good. She can be used for like scorpion farming, scorpion clearing, but you can't really make use of her ability. She's a good nuke, but not the ability is not very useful. So if you have something better, like a better nuke or better homing monster, then she is useful. She is not that useful now. Sorry. But if you're deciding which one, if you want variety, then go for the Ascend version. But this one's okay as well. It's kind of a toss-up, really, on your preference. But for me, I'll probably go for the Ascend version, just to have some variety and better stats. I'm really speed focused. I really like speed, monsters with high speed. So if I'm going to choose, I'm going to choose the one with the higher speed. Even the No Warp is really good, but not that good. You can probably take Astaroth into Kushinada, but that's she's probably just there for a filler. Outside of that, she won't be that useful. The nuke is okay, but if you can actually reach her. Let's look at the last one, Lilith's evolved version. Demihume for the ability, Gauge Shot of No Warp. Stats are okay. If you're comparing to Astaroth, her attack's a little bit lower. A little bit. Not really. Even with because the gauge bumps up her attack. Strike Shot is a meteor. Vertical Laser L for the bump combo. Let's look at the Ascent Demihume Slayer for the ability. Stats are okay. If you're looking at the attack, attack's about the same, especially with the gauge shot bonus. Meteor's the same. Bump combo EX Laser L, homing 8. It's kind of a toss up for you guys as well, depending on what you want. If you want a better bump combo, then go for the Ascend version. If you're going for just stats and like viability, like ability wise, then go for the evolved version. But for me, I would go for the Ascended version. Attack's the same, so the meter does about the same. Speeds, this one's higher speed, but I do like the bump combo more than the No Warp. I do have a lot of No Warp monsters, so there's no point of having a No Warp. So it's about your preference and what you have in your box. Demihume, for her use in terms of dungeons, the only one that I can really think of is Momotaro. that's about it that I can think of. Yeah, that's about it. There might be some that I'm kind of missing, but outside of that, you can't really use her ability that much. She does have a less favorable strike shot than Astaroth, but she's a better all-rounder in terms of stats and bump combo. If I'm gonna max luck, if you're trying to max luck something for the first time, I would not suggest you max lucking these two. But if you're just doing it because, in terms of if you want like really good monsters to a very good max luck monster, but if you really like the monsters themselves, like the artwork or like stuff like that, then go for it. I think that any max luck monster is worth, in my opinion. I'm probably gonna max luck Liliths. Probably go for the Ascend version, but Evolve version is not that bad either, depending on how I feel like when I'm fusing and stuff like that. Maybe I'll just go straight to Evolve and then Ascend later, but I'm not really sure about it right now because it's really a toss-up and it really depends on my mood, because each one has their own use, has their pros and cons. Not one is completely better than the other one, so it really depends on what you want. But that's it for me for the Devil series. I hope you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.